Between school, your friends, and social media, answers are everywhere. But where can you find the truth? Welcome to the StudentCast. We're asking for a friend so you don't have to.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the StudentCast. It's Ka'eo, and I'm here with your friend and my friend, Brynn.
What's up, guys? So excited to be back with you today. We're here asking a question for a friend, so you don't have to.
And I'm just so glad to be back because I have Cup of Joy with me again. Honestly,
Absolutely.
blended is the new thing for me.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
But oat milk, Ka'eo can't have regular
lactose
milk.
intolerant. Really sorry. I think it's a new thing for everybody. I've met a lot of people who've been like, me too.
Yeah.
And I feel so valued and seen in this moment.
Oh, that's so good. That's
Except
so
I
good.
still eat ice cream.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. But we today have a very important question for you.
Yes. Okay. So, Brynn, I got a friend, and he's asking, what do I do when I feel left out? I'm like, yes, me too.
Oh, man. Well, there's a word for this, actually.
Is it?
Or like an acronym.
Okay, yeah.
There's
What
this
is it?
word called FOMO, fear of missing out.
Oh, yes, I've heard of this word.
And I feel like that's kind of the thing that comes into play when we're feeling left out.
Yes.
I kind of struggle with FOMO. I like see things, I'm like, what the heck? I want to be there. But fear of missing out, you guys know the drill. I had to ask my guy, Merriam-Webster.
Yes, what did he say?
And he said FOMO. I'm kind of like surprised Merriam-Webster has this definition. Like, my guy's on lock. But fear of missing out, he wrote, is the fear of not being included in something such as an interesting or enjoyable activity that others are experiencing.
That's kind of spot on, honestly. When I'm on social media and I'm scrolling and being like, wait, everyone's there except me? What the heck?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough. And
Is there like another word for FOMO, though?
unincluded. Is that a knife? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Okay, so
we know I'm not good with words.
Yes.
I'm not like the vocab expert here.
Yeah, well, maybe we should start like getting like word of the day kind of deals. You know what I
Oh my
mean?
gosh, do you remember when I was on that kick?
Well, it was summer last year, wasn't it? Wasn't it over
No,
the summer?
no,
Oh, okay.
it was a New Year's resolution for me. You guys, I am so bad with vocab. I'll be in meetings and people say a word and I literally I sit there for a few minutes like trying to use context clues of what they could have been saying. Because I also have a pride thing where I'm like, I can't ask people a question.
But what do you mean by that? What does that mean?
Yeah. So I just sit there and I'm like, what does that word mean? But I was trying to be better.
Yeah.
And so last year, or like 2 years ago for my New Year's resolution, I was like, I want to do the word of the day every day. And like, I don't know, try to use the word in a sentence. It lasted like 2 weeks, I think.
It was really funny. Did you have to like sign up for an account for that?
I did.
Oh,
and
what was your name?
My username was
Brynn?
like,
Was it just Brynn?
No, Brynn was taken, I think. But I was
How?
trying to
But,
be
like, how?
funny. I don't know.
How was
I was
Brynn
trying to be
taken?
funny, and I put my username as like trendy word gal. And I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And now I'm just like, oh, that's so embarrassing.
All things that we've done.
But I don't remember any of the words that I.
That's right.
it
I
obviously
just
wasn't
looked up
good.
the word of the day today, and it is fetter.
What does that mean?
Yeah. It says, hold on, by Merriam-Webster, he says that fetter is a chain or shackle for the feet. Not sure how we're going to use that in today's message.
No, don't know. But maybe like having FOMO is like a fetter.
Maybe social media
chains you down.
So I don't really know. Anyways,
I
whatever.
don't know.
Maybe if you know how to use that word in a sentence regarding FOMO, let us know.
Yeah, let us
Yeah.
know. But we want to talk about FOMO and just what to do when you feel left out. It's so hard to not just really internalize that and be like, I'm worthless because I'm left out.
Yeah, for some reason, when we experience FOMO, it just attacks our identity immediately. You
Yeah,
know?
it
Where I'm like,
does.
it's a me thing.
Well, yeah, and now like I feel like I don't know. Sometimes I wish I grew up in the olden days when it's like I wouldn't have even known if my friends were hanging out without me. Like
Olden?
I
Back when there's horse-drawn carriages.
Is that mean? Towards
No,
people?
I don't
I'm
think
sorry.
so. Sorry, boomers. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, guys. But I think sometimes, like, yeah, it'd be so nice if I just didn't know. But
Yeah,
with
like the
Instagram and
idea.
Snapchat and all these things, I'm like, if you're hanging out, I most likely know. And I see it.
Yeah, also, like, sometimes my friends are, like, on that Life 360 app.
Okay.
Can we talk about how toxic
Hold
that is?
on. I have a story about this.
No.
Oh, my gosh. When I was in high school,
Okay.
we had this big friend group. I was in this thing called Inter-School Council in my senior year.
Okay.
And it's people from all the different schools. And so for
Okay,
some reason, we
weird flex,
all...
but all right.
Yeah, it's a big deal, you know. Okay. ISC alumni, but we called ourselves the Weasel Gang.
The Weasel Gang.
Am I allowed to say that? I think I wasn't ever supposed to say that. That's funny. Oh, my bad. But we had a whole group. We used to use Find My Friends. I don't know if people use that anymore. Only Life 360, but it was the same thing. You could see everyone's location, and we all had each other shared on that, and we would hang out without certain people. And I can have like a false peacekeeping tendency where like I'll lie, a lying issue. I'll lie
so that
to like make sure we're okay.
Yeah, no conflict. Yeah.
And I remember there was one time where one of the groups asked me if I wanted to hang out with them, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry. Like I'm actually like dog sitting right now, and I can't go."
Yeah.
But I was actually hanging out with a different group of people, and all of our locations were still on.
They saw it.
One of them just texted me like all lowercase TFTI.
Passive aggressive.
That means thanks for the invite. Yeah. And I get it. And I didn't even just in that moment like own up to it. I was like, what are you talking about? I sent a picture of this random dog. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm with this dog. And they like sent a screenshot of all our locations together. And I was like,
that's tough.
I can't get out of this one.
That's tough.
I mean, honestly, guys, hot take. Having your friends or your significant other on Life 360 and Find My Friends is toxic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, build trust. Build trust, people.
Yeah. But also don't do what I did and lie.
Yeah.
But that kind of brings us to our next point. It's okay to hang out with people like outside of your, I don't know.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's okay to hang out with your friends. Like you don't want, your friends are not the center of your world. You can have other friends.
Totally.
We don't need to be possessive of each other's time. Like the most healthy thing is to encourage our people to have relationships with people so that way they can continue to grow and be the best they can be.
Yes.
And we don't need to be like, no, you only hang out with me. Let's talk about possession. That is not a good thing.
Totally. Well, and I think sometimes when we have this FOMO, I think if we're being really gut level honest, I know this is, some people are gonna be like, no, that's not how I feel.
Yes, unpopular opinion.
But unpopular opinion, I think when we feel that FOMO, there is a sense of insecurity in that relationship where it's like, oh my gosh, I don't want you to hang out with that other person because
you're gonna like them
more. Yeah, you're gonna have more fun with them than you have with me. And I think we need to be secure in our relationships to say like, oh, I'm actually like, I'm celebrating that you're with them. I'm a little like, I wish I could be there, but like, have fun with them. Yes. Let's hang out another day.
Yeah, I can't wait to catch up and like tell you all about what happened. Yeah, there's a difference between when we start to like do that, it's because we're coveting that relationship. They're now an idol. We're jealous, and instead of comparison, we need to move towards comparison to celebrating.
Yeah, totally. And I think like if your friends aren't the center of your world, then when they're hanging out with someone else, it's easier to be like, okay, like I have other things. Yeah. Like they're not it for me.
Yes, this idea, it's a practice even Jesus did where we need to be content with being alone and just being ourselves. Like I struggle with this a lot. And so I remember that at the end of high school into college, I was like, I'm going to make it a thing where I'm going to watch a movie by myself once a year.
Whoa. And you do that still.
I do. I still do that now.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but the first time I was like, oh, people are judging me. Because I'm by myself, but it was great. It was awesome.
Well, now you kind of use that as like rest.
Yeah,
don't you?
It's definitely rest. Yeah, absolutely. And like
so cool.
the biggest thing too is like that allows us to be content, but also like I chose to like fast from social media sometimes. Like I looked up a stat.
What does that mean?
Well, okay, yeah. So fasting is the idea that I'm gonna choose to like turn off fasting from social media specifically. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna choose to not to partake in those things, social media, so that I could spend that time I would normally spend with social media and spend it with the Lord.
Dang.
And this idea of like I'm giving up something in order to experience that, and that's really difficult.
Yeah, that is hard to do.
Yeah, to turn off my phone, I think is kind of a scary thing.
Yes,
but it just shows me where I trust things.
I've noticed even last night we were at In-N-Out with some leaders, and my phone died. And the amount of times that I picked my phone up to try to turn it on, I was like, you guys, this is embarrassing. Yeah. I have an issue.
Yeah.
My phone is dead and I keep clicking it to see what time it is or if I have any notifications. Why am I like this?
Yeah. Well, I think I looked up a stat too recently. I forgot where I found it, but it said 56% of people who use social media experience FOMO.
Dang.
So that's when I was like, maybe I should stop being on social media all the time. And that way I can stop looking at everyone else's lives, but just focus on my own.
Well, and because social media is such a highlight reel, right? I mean, I've done it myself. Like, I post this really fun video of us all hanging out, but while I'm there, I'm actually like, I'm mad at this friend and I feel really insecure right now. And I actually went home and cried that night because I was sad about this thing.
And I just want everyone else to see that I was hanging with all these people.
Yeah,
though.
but everyone else just sees like, oh, friend group goals, so
Yes.
fun. And so I think when we're just seeing that highlight reel all the time of these people hanging out, yeah, we have this FOMO because we're like, they're having so much fun and I'm missing out on that experience.
Yeah, that I mean, that just reminds me, right, that like this whole, like even in the Bible, like in Matthew, when Jesus talking about the Sermon on the Mount, he says, look, like don't be anxious about your life. Like your life is more than just food and clothing. Like and God cares about you more than the sparrows and the lilies, right? And so like if they never had to worry, we don't need to worry or be anxious about those things. We can just be content.
Yeah.
Being us.
Which is so hard.
Yeah, I'm still working on that, if I'm being really honest.
Totally. And I think, I mean, there is also part in this, right? Like, I think about this sometimes. We don't have to, on the other end of things, like, right, there's the person having FOMO and then there's the person posting all the things they're doing.
Yes.
The whole world doesn't need to know every single time you're with your friends. And can I just ask of everyone?
This is a PSA.
PSA. This is at myself sometimes too. If you tell someone that you can't hang out with them, don't go post yourself doing a bunch of other things, because I hear all the time they're like, which is what I did in that story I told earlier with the TFTI thing. But someone will lie and say like, oh, I can't hang out. Like, it's my mom's goldfish's funeral. Like, like whatever.
Why do I not believe this person?
And then they post on their private story or on their Instagram story like 5 minutes later with like a big group of people. And it's like, you're not even trying to not get caught in this lie. Come on, that's people. My PSA. Just be better.
Yeah. So, I mean, I said we head into like the summer. Honestly, any season, there's always things they're celebrating. There's all big parties. People are hanging out.
But summer's hard because your schedule is just like cleared. I mean, sometimes you have like camps or sports or things like that. But for the most part, a lot of your schedule's gone.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, you're just sitting at home, like watching Netflix, or you're like out tanning by yourself or whatever, and you're just on your phone the whole time. And then you're literally just seeing people going on lake trips and going to the beach together. And you're like, why didn't I make your like 2-person invite to the beach trip with your fam? So I feel like summer is a hard period where you're just like, I have FOMO.
Yeah, it happens all the time. So yeah, I think Brynn, how would you encourage the people who are like struggling through FOMO? Because for me, I would probably say our biggest thing is just to recognize, right, that we need to be content. And in order to be content, we'd be grateful. So my mentor makes me write down 3 things every day that I'm thankful for. So that way if I'm focused more on that, I'm not focusing so much on what I don't have, but what I do have. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think like voicing out that feeling to a safe space, right? Like a mentor is a great spot. Go to the Lord with that feeling. Like, hey, like, God, I don't feel seen right now by my friends who are hanging out without me, but I know that you see me more than any of them ever will. I think that's such an honest prayer to have. But I also think like, right, what you said, hang out by, like, have contentment hanging out with your own, have some time by yourself with the Lord in that moment. Yeah. But also you can find other friends to hang out with too.
Exactly. Like, I was going to say, sometimes it's just because you don't have it because you didn't ask. So like maybe just like, ask your friend, like, hey, can we hang out instead of waiting for the invitation?
Okay, that is so good.
Yeah, we're on this whole soapbox already.
I'm on a soapbox because, it's not always your friend's job to plan things for you, and they don't always have to be the one that pursues you. I think that
it's like a 2-way street here.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Sometimes, I'm gonna be really honest. There's been people who will be like, you never hang out with me.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten coffee or hung out in so long. And I'm like, I like pull up our text. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm the worst friend ever. And then I pull it up and I'm like, you didn't ask me either. But I mean, it goes both ways. But I think, right, if you want to hang out with someone and you want to make plans, like go build community.
Exactly.
Invite friends over for a movie
and be
night.
okay if they're too busy to hang out with you.
Totally. I agree. But I think a lot of the things that we're coming down to is like be secure in your relationships.
Yep.
Be secure in yourself.
And your identity in the Lord.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And like, just be okay with that people are going to have things outside of you and use those things as opportunities to like connect with the Lord, be honest with him, and then maybe go out and build community of your own too.
Exactly. Well, Brynn, we have a lot to say about that. We got so excited about this, but we know we can't be here forever. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up our episode today. Yes. So friends, thank you so much for listening. Or watching. We're glad that you showed up and said hi. We're going to go ahead and wrap up and say bye, because we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Well StudentCast. As always, don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends about us. For more information about the Well Student Ministries, visit thewellcommunity.org/students.